Hello, friends and family. I am Kevin Rose. Welcome to another edition of The Random Show.
I am Tim Ferriss, and also welcome to number 347 of The Random Show.
I am your bald co-host today. We're twinsies.
Yes, we
I decided to go for a little shave.
Nice. I think it's very suiting.
It feels good.
Very flattering.
Really? You think so?
Your head is bigger, though. It's like William Shatner.
No, it's not. My head, our heads are the same size, by the way.
They are.
We measured them.
We measured the circumference of our heads, and they actually also match Daria's waist.
Oh, that's right. My wife's waist is the same. That's kind of weird. Why did we know that? Oh, yeah, one night we came over, we did that.
Now, where are we right now? We're in the, is this the man cave? Is that?
It's not a man cave. This is just my office at my house. And I've got a little chalkboard behind us here. So sometimes when we're doing little product brainstorming sessions with a few of my coworkers on apps that we want to build, stuff like that, we get up here and move the couch away and just whiteboard. I think this was for Tiny back in the day, one of the apps we built about 8 months ago. And yeah, it's all Tiny. So I haven't touched this. We got an office, so we don't use this as much anymore.
And you have sort of an Art Deco metallics or stainless steel chandelier, which used to be deer antlers?
Yeah.
Why did you swap it out?
You know, honestly, this whole room used to be very like man cavey, like you said initially, where it was
lots of dark leather,
big desk with leather on it and stuff. And I just like, you know, that was my dad. That was kind of like what he liked, you know, right. And I wanted to make it seem kind of woodsy, which is fine, but I just wanted a little bit more space and something a little bit more modern, and that's why I got this couch. And I don't know. So it's kind of turned into this area where now my desk's off against the wall. I got a bunch of open space in front of me. I can just come in here and lounge. I got a little Ames chair there that I can kick back in, read a book, something like that. So it's good.
And you have a lot of whiskey.
Japanese whiskey.
So what are you drinking?
Yeah, so today I just got back from Tokyo here a couple weeks ago. And this is a whiskey that they have yet to release in the United States. It's their Hibiki Harmony whiskey. And so it is a blend of, I think, 4 different whiskeys. And so Hibiki is one of my favorite Japanese whiskeys. I have
Suntory whiskey.
Yeah, Suntory.
Yeah,
so I have the 21, the 30 there. I also have a 12. Honestly, I think for a day-to-day drinker, this blend, I'm not sure what it would retail for in the States when it does eventually get here. In Japan, I think it was around $100 for a bottle.
Got it.
So nothing crazy expensive.
For a daily swig.
Yeah, this is just it's when you're drinking the aged whiskeys, they're very deep. They have a lot of depth to them and a lot of complexity when they hit your tongue. This is just mild, chill. Like you can just kick back on a nice sunny day, throw a big cube in there, and don't feel like you're killing it because it's like, you know, it doesn't. You know how when you do a proper aged whiskey, you don't want to dilute it down too much.
You don't feel like you have to be too precious about it.
Right, exactly. Now, try a little sip.
I'll try a little sip.
He's not drinking right now.
I'm not drinking right now. This is
don't fake sip. Like take a sip.
I'm not gonna fake sip.
Sometimes you fake sip. Just take a little sip.
When have you seen me fake sip?
I don't know. Sometimes you don't drink that much. You just
well, that's true. Meaning I don't drink as much as Kevin Rose.
Listen, I don't drink as much as, well, I guess I drink a decent amount, but not that much.
I don't drink as much as that guy in leaving Las Vegas. Oh, wait, yeah.
Hey, listen, I've been tracking my drinks, as we mentioned in a previous episode in that spreadsheet.
How's that going?
I don't drink that much. I drink a little bit, but not that much.
Like 5 to 6 drinks a night?
No. That would be insane. That's like alcoholic level. Like, I would say an average night for me is probably like 1.75.
All right.
Meaning that there's some nights where I have 3 glasses and there's some nights where I have 0 glasses.
Now, are you using fish bowls as glasses? Because I know I've told my readers before you can have 1 glass of red wine a night, and they figure out all sorts of creative ways to basically make self-defeating decisions to drink out of like a fish bowl.
So Darius thinks I'm kind of nuts, my wife, because I'll come in and I'll actually measure out the ounces of wine into a glass to make sure I get the right pour. Because before I was like, oh, there's like 3 glasses per bottle of wine or 4.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually like 4.5, or does that sound about right? 3.5?
750 milliliters per bottle of wine.
Anyway, you have to be careful. So I've been measuring it out if I get kind of crazy. But I'm loosening up on that stuff a little bit. It was fun to track it for the first few months, and I still am. But I don't know what the goal is at this point. Like I know how much I drink, and I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. I'd like to
looking to push the envelope a little, up it to 4 or 5.
Well, this is interesting. I want to talk about scaling back on this kind of stuff, because for me, as we get older, I'm approaching 40. You're approaching 40. Yeah. Like
I love you had to think about that.
Well, I was going to say 50, but I didn't want to be fucked up. We like, fat sticks to us a lot easier.
Yeah.
And actually, we had dinner a couple nights ago, and you're on this really funky thing. Well, not funky, but it's like different than your 4-hour body stuff. Like,
let's
talk about that for a sec?
Yeah, I'm following what's called a ketogenic diet or a ketot. So I'm in a ketotic state. What does that mean? That means that I am running on fat predominantly. So
your fuel is coming from fat.
My fuel is coming from fat. And what that means in pragmatic terms is that I am eating probably 80% of my calories or so from fat, which is a lot harder to do than you might think. And then perhaps 15% from protein and 5% or less from carbohydrates. And I'm doing experiments to see what knocks me out of ketosis or not. And the way that you actually just take a step back, if you were to crash in a plane and
I'm flying tomorrow. Why are you saying this kind of stuff?
Right. So let's just say that you crash and you're stuck in the wilderness. Hold on.
Okay.
You can survive. Okay, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Okay, so you can go without food for a long time. What happens? When initially your brain is going to be trying to work utilizing glucose and blood sugar. And over time, that's going to become untenable because you're not consuming carbohydrates. And it'll start pulling it from the muscles and the liver and so on. Eventually you run out. And that's when your body kicks over into utilizing body fat for fuel and converting it into ketones. So ketone bodies can be processed by the brain and heart really, really well. Actually, they're very helpful for endurance exercise. So
is this good for you? Like, is it? I heard there's some mental fog that happens when you first start going into it.
The transition from glucose dependent to ketone adapted or keto adapted can produce some fog, but it doesn't have to last more than a day or two. But for a lot of people, it'll take 4 or 5 days to get there.
This is essentially the Atkins diet, more or less, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so this is a new toy that I've been playing with. It's not quite a toy, but it's a medical device called a Precision Extra. And this looks like and is a glucometer, meaning I put a needle
You can do this
in
live?
here, I pop, I hit my finger. I could do it live.
God,
Maybe I will
man.
do it live.
I've done it on my fingers and it hurts so bad. Like
It can hurt, especially if you I was measuring, and I have been measuring 4 times a day, and I have 2 strips per measurement, so I'm putting 8 sticks in my hand.
per day.
Per day. Now, I don't recommend that. Talk to your medical professional, but what's so cool about this particular device, all right, you can go to Walgreens and buy all sorts of glucometers.
What are you going to talk to your medical professional about? You're like, hey, I'm going to stick myself 8 times. I was going to say, you're a fucking idiot.
There you go. All right. Dr. Rose has delivered the verdict.
I'm just saying, like, what are you going to tell them?
That's a caveat that I provide.
Right,
because
you don't want to get sued.
Because
someone will stick themselves with
one
a
out of
knife.
every 1,000 people out there is a fucking retard, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, Tim said to stick myself," and they'll fucking stab themselves in the eye. All right, so talk to your doctor before you fucking stab yourself in the eye. These particular sticks are for measuring ketone bodies, and these are for glucose. So you can do both with this device, which is very, very interesting. And because previously, as you know, and you have, I see on your desk, some keto sticks.
Well, I just got this. Can you throw them in those, Graham, right there? Little white bottle. No, in front of that, right there, yeah.
Yeah.
I got this because you started talking about it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna try this for like a week. Because you were saying like you lose fat like a mofo. Like
you do.
You have a couple abs like starting to come out now.
My mono ab is slowly becoming maybe a quadra ab, and
like
then while
dissolve
moving towards a 6-pack. I've lost a ton of fat, and I'd blown my hips apart doing too many squats for just like squatting on a daily basis for many days straight. And so I, for mobility, not for hypertrophy, and took 2 weeks off, had my first workout today, and all of the weights felt light. And now I'm not saying that's because of the diet, but my joints feel incredibly, they feel much better than they did 2 weeks ago. And I've been on the diet for maybe a week. I'm going to do another probably 4 or 5 days and do a secondary round of blood testing. But here's the thing that's interesting. When you go into ketosis, there are different ways to measure ketosis. So when you pee on these, what this is detecting is acetoacetate being expelled in the urine. And this is kind of reliable. You have a color coding on the side, which tells you whether you have negative ketones, trace, small, moderate, or large. All right.
Listen, I would rather pee on a stick than stab myself 8 times a day. That's me.
This gives you the millimolar concentration of ketones, which is very, very specific. Now, the problem with these, for instance, you can also measure it with your breath. There's something called a ketonics device. I think that's what it's called. Ketonics, excuse me, with an N. And you breathe into it, and that will measure acetone. And so it's also...
Is that more accurate than this?
The ketonics, I would say, is more accurate than this. Because if you become fat adapted and you've been in ketosis for a while, so let's just say Atkins diet, whatever, your body becomes more efficient at processing ketones, and you won't excrete as much. And so then you'll pee on this, or if you want to be a little more reliable, you can dip it into your urine for 15 seconds, pull it out, and you might come up negative. But in fact, you're rocking and rolling. It's just that your body is not excreting as much.
Will the breathalyzer thing catch that?
The breathalyzer, I don't know how adaptive the acetone expulsion is. I think that also probably diminishes over time, if I had to guess.
So let me hold on. This was $12 for me at Walgreens. How much is that machine?
So the Precision Extra is not that expensive. You can get it for like $35-$40. Now, but here's the thing. All right, so that is how much?
$12.
And how many are there? 50?
50, yeah.
Okay. These little strips for ketones, these are like $5 a pop. They're really, really expensive. So this is cost prohibitive for most people, especially people who are as OCD as me with sticking themselves 3-4 times a day. So that is the story.
So how much does the breathalyzer thing cost?
Should I test toaster for ketones?
Do not test toaster for ketones. Why would you hurt my dog?
I'm not going to hurt your dog. Your dog is getting a little buxom. He's looking a little chunky monkey. What are you feeding him?
He's got extra fur. We haven't shaved him lately.
Yeah. He's not.
Everyone just saw him. He's super cute. Come on, bud.
I'm not saying he's fat. He's just fatter. What else is going on?
Well, I'll tell you what. Hold on. How much does the breathalyzer cost?
I don't know. I think that's between like $100 and $200.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing people are going to be wondering is, like, you have a very successful 4-Hour Body book. It's kind of like this in that I'm sure you do kind of go into ketosis with the 4-Hour Body. A little bit, right?
You can go into ketosis on slow carb. It's not the objective, but it can happen. And I'm logging all of my data here and then transferring it over to Evernote.
Dude, everyone is wondering, why are you doing this?
I'm doing it because I constantly test different diets, number one. Number two, your diet is selected based on what you're optimizing for. So right now, I have some weird blood markers. My blood tests have a number of items that have come back really weird. And I want to see if a ketogenic diet changes that. And I want to see if it's autoimmune related, if it's food related. And so I'm doing a lot of blood testing before and after for trying to identify how tweaking these variables affects other things. That's pretty much it.
You said it was making your joints feel better. This is known as like, is it a anti-inflammatory diet in some sense?
Well, in this, to the extent that a lot of people would consider carbohydrates inflammatory, or at least processed carbohydrates, or those that are converted to glucose very quickly, then it would definitely be considered an anti-inflammatory diet.
Do you think that's impacting? You said your joints are feeling better now that you're on this diet.
It could be. It could also be the fact that I'm consuming 80% of my calories from fat and eating like coconut oil and cheese and all this other stuff that might help lubricate the joints. And I'm not sure how synovial fluid is produced, which is the fluid that you find in, say, the knee. But feeling pretty good. Now, on the flip side, eating all of this fat, my skin is not so happy. Big surprise, right? When you're eating like hunks of cheese and cream and coconut oil. My, sebaceous glands, that's what kicks out the oil that causes acne. Not so happy, pretty grumpy. So, not sure I'll do this for a super long period of time. I do find slow carb a lot easier. And I just had, for instance, I'm actually going to test myself while we talk, but I had
a... Not bleed on my couch.
I'm not going to bleed on your couch. I had a kombucha while walking over here.
That has sugar in it.
Well, it has 8 grams. So over the day, I'm trying to restrain or constrain, restrict, there we go, restrict my carbs to 30 grams or less for the day. I'm trying to restrict my protein to around 1 gram per kilogram of desired body weight or lean body weight.
That's typically the same amount that bodybuilders eat when they want to put mass on.
No, it's a lot less.
1 gram per pound of body weight.
I'm doing kilograms. So
okay.
it's less than half. And you have to really restrict your protein intake. If you eat tons of protein, especially if you drink something like whey protein, which is the simple sugar of proteins, the liver will convert that via gluconeogenesis, is what it's called, into we got the scientists in the background, give me the thumbs up. They'll take the amino acids will be converted into glucose, and certain amino acids are converted preferentially into glucose, so they're glucogenic as opposed to ketogenic. So anyway, it's all very, very interesting stuff.
One last question for you. When you're on this diet, can you actually put on mass? Do you think you could, if you were lifting, you'd get bigger?
I think it's possible that I could, but if I were to follow this diet and really want to put on mass, I would either follow what people call the TKD, the targeted ketogenic diet, or what I've done before when I was in college, actually, the cyclical ketogenic diet. And the cyclical ketogenic diet is very interesting, and it combines well with the mentality and kind of the ethos of the slow carb diet, because you have 24 to 48 hours each week to binge, basically, and carb load. So you would follow the ketogenic diet from, say, Monday to Friday. On Saturday morning, you would do a glycogen depletion workout, and then you would carb load for the next 24 to 48 hours. I would constrain that to 24. And I think if you do that, and you're taking advantage of insulin as an anabolic hormone, and driving carbs in, that can help fuel you for high intensity workouts for, say, the next 2 or 3 days. When you get super advanced, like Peter Attia, who's an MD that I've had on the podcast, we've talked about all sorts of life extension and performance enhancing techniques and tools and dietary tweaks. He is a ketosis master, so he will determine, he's a long distance cyclist, and he also, he wouldn't consider it long distance. He does 20 kilometer time trials. I think it's 20 kilometer. And he will quantify the exact number of carbohydrates or grams of carbohydrates that he can consume and utilize during exercise without popping out of ketosis.
Crazy.
Yeah, he does some.
So he only eats those carbs when he's cycling.
That's right.
And then when he's done, he's like, I didn't pop out because I just burned everything straight up.
Yeah, and he'll measure that based on what he believes his liver can hold. I think it's something like 400 grams or 400 calories. I think it's probably 400 calories. No, maybe 400 grams. I'm mixing up. I'm not this advanced. I'm just using my little device.
Is he on one of your podcasts?
Yeah, he's been on the podcast twice.
Sweet. I'll go listen to that.
Peter Attia, Attia. The guy's amazing.
All right.
What else?
So other things. Tim's doing weird prickly things over there. I talked about my whiskey. So this is something that I just started getting into last week. And this little guy right here is called the Fresh Roast SR700.
SR700.
Yeah.
It's like a fake movie name.
Dude, this is it's like the Blackbird, what was that, the SR71 or something like that?
That's right, yeah.
So this is an at-home coffee roaster. Like, you basically buy the beans, like straight up green beans. These are coffee beans before they've been roasted. And you can roast your own beans inside this little machine. So essentially what you do is you fill this up. If I'm gonna make enough for just 1 cup of coffee, I'll put 25 grams of beans in here, and then put the little top on here, and this will circulate hot air at around, there's 3 different temperature settings, but the high is around 400 degrees, which is pretty hot, and it fluffs it like popcorn. So you'll see these little beans jump. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you'll have perfectly roasted coffee. It'll do a cool down period, and then you take it out and let it, grind it after it sits, and you have fresh roasted coffee at home. It's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
So, I mean, it's a way to save money, but also at the same time, like experimenting with different types of roasts, because you can do your own roasts.
How do you like to roast coffee?
Well, I just got this thing, so I'm really not that far into it, but one of the things that's really cool about this is it has a USB port on the back of it, and I plugged it into my computer, and you can go in and set your own cycles. So you can set your temperature cycles, your duration, and you can have it, oh God, I hate seeing that. That hurts, dude. I do that for vitamin D testing. Oh man. So anyway, check it out. It's on Amazon. I will say one thing about that coffee roaster. It's not that expensive, but there have been some people that have issues with the roaster being broken when they receive it. I had a similar issue where my roaster wasn't getting hot enough. I did contact them on support. They were awesome. They sent me one out without me sending this one back. So they're really good on customer service. They're based out of Utah. It's a fun little hobby. Some people roast beans in their like oven. They'll put it on a flat pan and roast their own beans. But if you've ever been kind of bean curious and want to... You're being curious. One of the things I will say is the software does not work on the Mac. So what I did is I downloaded Parallels, launched Windows 10 inside of it, connected it via USB, and then ran it from there, and it worked just fine. So anyway, fun little hobby. If you've ever been curious or you get into kind of pour over coffee at your own house, this is kind of next level shit. So there's all different types of beans that you can buy. I got these from a place called Sweet Maria's, which is based out of Oakland. They have a great online store. Don't lick your fingers. If you're watching the video version of this, it's disgusting. He's bleeding and licking himself while I'm talking about coffee. Anyway, have fun with it. It's a fun gift for the coffee enthusiast out there. You can get started for under a couple $100 or right around a couple $100. That is my next thing I want to talk about.
Was I distracting you, poor Kevin?
I mean, it's just like, what are you doing, dude?
So I have 0.7 millimolars for ketones, which is not as high as I would like it, which I attribute to
Your kombucha.
Yeah, to the 8 grams of kombucha, or 8 grams of carbohydrate in kombucha, which is all sugar, even though I walked about 2 miles to get here. So there you go. And then I have a glucose of 93, which is way, way, way too high for my preference. So that's it. I'll keep the blood there and off of your couch.
It's literally sitting on the couch.
No. It's on top of the little...
No, I know, but that's just like one toaster jump from being smeared blood all over my couch.
It is definitely one toaster jump. So no jumping on the blood toaster. So I have a related suggestion or option for folks, and that is...
Have you ever done anything with coffee, by the way? Are you a coffee guy?
I like coffee, yeah.
Did you ever roast your own stuff, or do you own pour-over?
I've never roasted my own stuff. I've done tons of pour-over stuff. I have the AirPress at home. I know that's not a pour-over, but I do have the
V60.
The V60, and I think there's a Hario version, or is that the V60?
Hario's V60.
There's another.
Are you talking about the blue bottle one that goes like this and up?
On Mac.
Yeah, Ball Mac.
I have a couple of other options, but I've been doing mostly tea. The other option for roasting beans that I've seen is using a popcorn roaster.
This is more or less the same thing.
More or less the same thing.
With a little bit more control.
Yeah, that's what Mark Maron does at home.
I mean, this thing is I don't know how much it is. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I want to say it's no more than $250, and it could have been $150. I don't remember. But anyway, it's not that expensive. It's expensive, but if you're really into it, it's pretty awesome.
I enjoy drinking kombucha, but clearly on my current diet, it's too much of a pain in my ass and is going to knock me out of ketosis. So what I might do to try to get the probiotic sort of bacterial benefit of consuming kombucha is take this stuff. So this is Saccharomyces boulardii, if I'm getting that right, plus MOS. MOS is mannan oligosaccharides. And these I will be using to repopulate my gut after the antibiotics that I took for
Why this particular
disease.
strain, though?
That's what's found in kombucha. So I'm not consuming just that. I'd be consuming this. I'd be consuming some inulin, but inulin can also spike insulin and contains sugars. So I have to be cautious of how much I consume. Probably less than 30 grams a day would make obviously a lot of sense if I'm aiming for fewer than 30 grams of carbs per day. And what was that?
Also carbs. Inulin.
What was that?
Inulin is what's in sunchokes.
Oh, yeah. It can make you farty. That's true. Yeah. So those are, fructooligosaccharides that can make you socially inappropriate and unfriendly.
Can I prick myself and see where I am blood sugar-wise?
Yeah,
Do you have
sure.
an extra pricker?
I
I'm not
do.
using the
I
same one.
I always have an extra pricker for you. Yes, I do have an extra
This better
pricker.
be a clean one.
I'll give you a clean pricker.
Let me see it.
Here.
I'll make sure
You want me to
you're
do
not-
it for you? Or you want
No,
me
I want to do it myself. I just want to make sure you're not like double pricking me.
We know how much you like double pricking.
This is not even...
Here, you can put it in yourself.
How do you take the lacelet off? Do you like...
You twist it off.
So put this
The
little guy in here.
lacelet. Man, your vocab is killing
Isn't that what
right
it
now.
is? What is it? Lace? They call it
That's a lancet.
lancet. Okay.
But you've got to, you have
Push it
to
in?
hold it there and push it down pretty hard so that it goes
Is
all
it
the
going
way
to prick
down.
me right away?
No. Yeah. Get
Okay.
it seated, and
It's
then you're going to
seated.
twist it off.
All right.
All right, we're going to do this.
Ooh, shit.
And then I have a gift for you. All right, you want to put that top on,
Okay.
and then
Your blood's on here.
none of my blood's on there.
I'm going to do it like on my arm.
It's not calibrated for that, but if you want to do that, you're welcome to. You want to do it on your hand?
Yeah, I don't want to do it like. I just don't want to do it on the fingertips. It hurts like a biatch. Here, give me that right. I'm gonna do it on my like arm here.
All right, go for it.
Should I do it over a vein, or is that just like gonna be spraying shit?
No, don't do it over a vein. Just do a finger would be my suggestion, but if you want to do your hand,
No. Here we go. Just push it. Wait, it's at a 2. What should I set it at?
Hold on, 2 is fine. Let me get this thing.
Is
ready
3 like further in?
3 will go further in.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Hold on a sec. Let me get this ready so you don't pass out before we take your measurement.
That would be some shit if I just passed out on the show.
All right, go for it.
3, 2, 1. I didn't even feel anything.
Yeah, I know.
There's a little
It doesn't
blood.
hurt.
Oh, that didn't hurt at all.
And that's not going to be enough. You're going to have to do it again. You're going to have to do it on your
Can
finger.
I use the same thing?
Just use the same thing.
How do I reload it?
You pull that thing back. The other side.
Listen.
Yeah, and then just do your fingertips. It's not going to work on your forearm. Oh, you know what? Hold on, but you're going to need to use the alcohol again, yeah.
Okay. Should I set it 2? Because 3
It's
is really
fine.
high.
3 will get the job done. You seem to be a poor bleeder.
Oh, fuck me. I hate this feeling. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. All right. Fuck you, Tim Ferriss.
There you go.
Oh, I didn't even feel it.
I know,
That's so
you're
much
such
better
a
than the other one I had.
Puss.
The one that gave me permanent nerve damage?
Yeah.
All right. Wow, man, you really don't bleed very well.
Hold on, let me squeeze. I can get some shit out of it.
You are not bleeding at
Hold
all.
on, you.
Drink more.
I need to drink some more alcohol.
No, dude, they drink alcohol to constrict the blood. I think you might need to do it again.
Are you kidding me? I hate you. Why are you doing this to me?
I'm not doing it. You're really shitty.
Is
at
it got
lancing.
it? Is it
No, there's nothing coming out.
Jesus.
Here, you're doing the middle of your finger. Do the outside edge of your finger.
Like here?
Yeah, on the edge.
That one fucking
That
hurt.
was good?
You fucker.
All right, well, that'll probably... Yeah, there we go. It's a little better. All right. Oh, barely. Keep going. Oh, my God.
I can't bleed.
Dude, you're such a shitty bleeder. We're almost there. We're like halfway there. Like, you could... Here. Oh, there we go. Come on. Here.
It's close, it's close.
It's so close. This is like the sloppiest fucking... Oh my God. Yeah, this is... Here. Dude, what are you doing to your finger?
Oh, you just touched it. You got my blood on you.
God damn it. I'm more pissed that you're wasting my goddamn... There we go.
There he goes. There you go. Okay.
Come on, you fucking thing.
It says E3. What does that mean?
Oh, fuck. It errored out because we took too long.
Pull it back out again. Stick it back in.
No, this thing won't work. We'd have to do it again.
Are you kidding me?
No, you took too long.
Okay, I'm going to do one more. Pull it back in. Stick it back in. Maybe it will.
No, this thing's toast. We're going to have to do another one.
Oh, my God. I'm bleeding all over the place now. Okay, hold on.
All right, hold on. All right.
Sorry, people. We'll cut some of this out.
No, don't cut this out. This is gold. All right. So,
I'm going to another finger.
yeah.
God. This is a really shitty thing to have to do yourself. I've already cut myself 3 times now. You're such a fucker.
You should take it to 4.
No, I'll do 3.
Yeah.
It was on 2. There we go. All right, here we go. Ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
It's going to take you a second to do it.
Jesus.
All right. I'll wait until you're ready.
Let me get a good amount up. There we go.
All right, yeah. Okay, stop. That's plenty.
Okay.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
See, it's so...
Do you have a Band-Aid?
I don't have a Band-Aid. 87.
What does that mean? Is it good?
Is it good? It's all right.
What were you?
I was 90, I think. 93.
Okay.
Yeah, you're 87.
87, and then...
There we go.
What is that? Wait, was that a ketone stick or a blood sugar one?
Blood.
I want a ketone.
Well, you can do another one if you
Hold
want.
on, I got it. Sorry, guys, we'll cut some of this out. I can't get this out. There it is.
You gotta...
I got enough.
All right, hold on.
Okay, ketones.
All right, that's plenty. Jesus.
Turn it on.
What's happening here?
Good?
Hold on. All right.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna guess 0.02. That's my guess. No, I'm gonna give you 0.03.
Oh, shit, sorry. Let's throw this away.
Oh, dude, how good is that?
Guessed it.
Yeah, 0.3.
Is that bad?
I guessed it exactly. You're not really in ketosis, but you can get there. That's a little bit more work. 0.3. I think I said 0.03. I meant 0.3.
So is that getting there, though?
Yeah, you got a ways to go, but you're getting there.
Sweet.
But
All right.
on the keto sticks, you wouldn't have that level of granularity. You wouldn't have any way of really telling. Here you go. I'll give you that. Dude, you're bleeding all over.
I know,
the place.
can I have a-
That's why you should suck on your finger. It'll fix it. All right. That was very exciting. All right.
Disgusting. Okay, people, sorry for the
All right.
weird episode.
That was great. I have a gift for you.
Okay.
Maybe you can put it on your finger. Don't put it on your finger. This is Sugru. Have you ever seen this stuff?
No, what is this?
So it's moldable glue. It's I believe originally from the UK, and my mom gave it to me for Christmas last year. It is kind of, imagine if like super glue and Play-Doh had a love child. It would be something like this. You can use it to fix anything. Like if you have a cracked handle on a pot, you could fix it and mold it, and it won't stick to your fingers, and then it will solidify, and it'll become completely held together. You could
It's
use
like
it
for those hard to glue things.
yeah, but you could use it for repairing, say, an iPhone case that's cracked. You could use it. It's not really solely glue. You could actually, I've seen people use Sugru to make mounts for cameras. I've seen them use it for...
It turns into rubber, is what it's saying.
Yeah.
Give it 24 hours.
Yeah, basically, yeah, exactly.
Huh.
It's a moldable glue that turns into rubber. So you could make toys out of it. You could do just about anything.
Crazy.
Pretty cool.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, definitely. So it's...
How did you, is this just you had this laying around at home, or why did you decide to give me this gift today? I mean, I appreciate it, but I'm just curious.
because I like the stuff.
Oh, sweet.
And I got some. So figured I would pass that along.
Awesome.
And so other stuff that people may not have seen before. This is an anti-inflammatory gel, which is pretty controversial, partially because it's labeled as homeopathic, and I have issues with so-called homeopathic medicine, and I've written about this before. So you can search Tim Ferriss homeopathic medicine if you want to see my take on it. But this short version is that generally homeopathic medicine has no evidence for its efficacy. But this stuff, Traumiel, is incredibly effective for injury repair and for anti-inflammatory purposes if you have some type of tear or otherwise. So I use this stuff all the time. I did mention this in the 4-Hour Body.
Is it like a Bengay type stuff, like where it just burns and feels good and kind of loosens up the muscle, or?
It's not just, say, the menthol. Typically, the Bengays of the world use menthol and so on for that. This seems to have some type of curative effect or a restorative effect, not just a temporary numbing effect. So
Do you use this like post-workout? Like, what are you primarily using this for? Like you?
well, I have a minor tear of my right hamstring at the insertion point at the hip. So I'm using this.
I could have used this like a year ago when I ripped a muscle.
This stuff's great for that. So I've seen some miraculous recoveries, including this. This isn't sufficient by itself, but if you were to combine this with, say, some electrostimulation with a device like the Mark II, or some type of ultrasound, and then apply this can work some wonders. So anyway, for those people who haven't seen it, Traumiel, easy to find now. It used to be really hard to find. Now I think you can get it at Whole Foods, and there are also ingestible versions, but I tend to use the topical.
Sweet.
Yeah. What else do you have?
So a couple things. One, I decided to experiment and venture down into some more photography, and I picked up this camera. A buddy of mine recommended this camera. It's a Leica. This is the M-P. And feel how heavy that thing is, first of all. I don't know if you've ever messed around with a Leica before.
I do not have any Leica, but that is a heavy camera.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. So I just got this. I'm just learning about it. If any people have any recommendations, or they actually shoot on Leicas of any good books that I could pick up, I would love to hear them. So just tweet at me at Kevin Rose. But the thing I love about this is it's completely manual. Like everything from setting the f-stops up here. There is no autofocus, so you manually focus up here. You get your shutter speed right here. Set your ISO on the back. Like everything is manual. So you probably nail like 1 in every 10 photos, but when you nail one, it's just like unbelievable. And it's very beautiful, and it has a very kind of vintagey feel. Like, let me show you some of these photos that, and I'll give, does I only have one on there? Damn it, I only have one on there. I sucked them all off and I told them to delete on my computer, but.
Sucked them all off.
Listen, you guys you've been drinking. I love that my wife is like, suck them all off.
Double bricked and sucking them all off.
I have been ignoring you for 10 minutes.
But how is it that suck them all off got your, anyway.
How do you think? How do you think?
So, Leica stuff is fun. I'll give Graham a couple photos that he can put on here, but it creates these really very beautiful, vivid photos. If you're into, I don't know, I'm kind of like getting into this stage of my life where I like more manual things. Like, I'm not about technology. I'm trying to get away from it a little bit. One of the models that they have, I think that you'll think this is kind of interesting. They have this special edition version of that camera. It's digital camera, no LCD on the back, no preview. So you take the photos and you literally hook it up to your computer and you can't see what they look like until you actually suck them off. Forcing you... God, I hate you guys. Stop.
You can't see what they look like until you suck them off. This is like a mystery party.
It's like Amsterdam.
It's a glory hole. This is exciting.
I hate you guys. I love that it's my wife. It's like, I sucked them all off. Oh, man.
But blame me. But I know what you mean about manual illiteracy and just wanting to use your hands more to build things and to do things as opposed to simply being in front of a screen, being 8 to 16 inches away from blue light.
Or even so by the time this episode hits, the Apple Watch will be out.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you think about that? Are you going to get one of those?
I'm not going to get one because I have enough devices. I don't need a watch. I have time on my phone. I don't need to be tracked with anything else.
Could anything pull you in? Like, let's say the sensors got really good and you could monitor, well, you can real-time 24/7 heart rate with it. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's okay.
Eventually,
and the data is only interesting to me in so much as I can use it, so I'm probably not going to do much with that data.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get one because I have to, and I have to play with it and all that, but I just don't need more. You don't, if you ever try and text Tim after 6 p.m., it just doesn't go through. You shut your phone off.
Yeah, I put my phone on
airplane mode.
On airplane mode, like it's on airplane mode right now.
But you do that all the time.
I do, yeah.
Why is that?
Because I don't want to be reactive, and I don't want to feel like I have the universe going, hey, fuckface, which is what getting messages feels like to me.
Well, and that's the problem with the Apple Watch, to be honest. Like, I don't want more of that. I was with a buddy this morning. We had coffee, and he had one on, and he was just like,
bing, bing,
and it was just like,
yeah.
I'm like, what are you looking at there? What was that? And he's just like, oh, it's just a little thing, and let me know about this and that. And I was just like, I don't know, man. That just seems like one more. Our brains are like, I don't know how you feel about this, but when you get 30 tabs open in your web browser and you're doing all these different things, there's no focus anymore. And all of a sudden that plays out in how you see everything. And I worry that like, I have a hard enough time keeping a conversation with my wife or anyone else at dinner, like with my phone sitting there.
Yeah.
It's like, we always have this, like, she's like, can you put your phone away? Like, it says it like multiple times a week.
Yeah.
And it's important. It's important that we get the stuff out of and off of us.
No, I agree. That's why I think putting the phone on airplane mode.
It's smart.
At the very least, I put my phone on airplane mode and I put it face down when I'm having dinner. Typically, since it's on airplane mode or I have it off, I'll just put it in my pocket.
Can I show you a different mode? Do you know about the little sleeping mode?
Do not disturb.
I have used Do Not Disturb mode, but this is also a chance to show people that maybe this wasn't. So I've upgraded to the phablet, the phone tablet.
Worst case ever. Why did you get that case?
Because I care less about how it looks and I care more about it preventing my phone from breaking.
No, I know, but there's nice leather ones. I'll get you one.
So in any case, I got this monstrous thing, and I'm quite fond of it. And part of the reason I'm fond of it is I experimented with going without my laptop, but I don't like tapping on the iPhone screen. I hate producing content with my thumbs. It makes me insane, and it's really slow. So what I ended up doing when I was traveling, so it's not using Vanity Fair, but rather using this tiny thing that I can put inside a magazine or a book to protect it. This is a Logitech keyboard that's Bluetooth, and you turn it on. You flip the switch here, and I can balance this phone. It's not really balancing. Lean it against like a glass of water or something, and then type in the same way that I would type on a laptop. But I'm only traveling with that. And
They have those like Microsoft server. You could just get an iPad too and do the same thing.
I don't like iPads though, because then I have this plus basically half of a laptop. Do you know what I mean? It's bigger. And I don't need a larger screen than this for most of the typing that I do. And the fact, I mean, feel this thing, how light that is. It's so light.
So I have
and the battery life lasts ages once you've charged it up via USB.
Feels actually pretty good. It's really light. I have the new Air coming. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
It's super tiny, dude. Like half the size of the last one. Yeah, sorry, it's not the Air anymore. It's just called the MacBook.
So I didn't get the brand new, I just got a new MacBook. And
you should sell it.
Nah.
What size is it?
It's fine. It's 13 inch.
The new one is like that, dude, and it's like that thin. It's insane. Like if you're looking for portability, that's the only one to get.
Yeah. So in any case, that is another experiment in mobility. I think this is going to be super useful for 99% of what I do.
Cool.
Aside from storage, and then let's see. This is kind of funny, but so this is the book that I got. It's not a book; it's a magazine.
Bark.
So I have been like, I feel like this is people might get pissed about this, but whatever. I feel like a bride to be. Maybe not you, Dario. I'm not sure, but a lot of women
feel like a bride to be.
No, like go wedding crazy. I'm not saying, I don't know if you did or not, but they have all the wedding magazines. Do you know what I'm talking about?
She never had one, but anyway.
Kevin had all the wedding magazines.
Okay. So anyway, when people are getting ready for something, a big event, like getting married or having a kid, they start reading all the baby magazines, parenting magazines, the wedding magazines, whatever the hell. And so I've been putting off getting a dog, so I've started reading magazines like this. And the cover is what got me. All you need is love with this dog, like, And I was like, oh my God, stab me in the heart. And so this is about as San Francisco as you get. The subtitle is Dog is My Co-Pilot. That's funny. Okay. And then it's the Dog Culture Magazine. It's just like the most SF hipster thing imaginable.
So have you narrowed it down to any breeds yet?
But it's pretty good, actually. I was enjoying reading it yesterday. Had the history of the seeing eye dog, which I was very excited about. I am going to get a dog. It'll be a rescue. It'll definitely be a rescue, and it's a matter of just doing it and stopping all the thinking, I think, is what it comes down to. I think there's no good time to get a dog, have a baby, make any huge decision. You just have to
That's gonna really
do it, and then
your travel life,
things.
man. You're a world traveler. It's tough.
I am, but I love San Francisco so much, and I'm spending more time in LA and then New York. It's really 3 locations where I spend 90% of my time.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm going to be gone for any period of time, I would figure out a way to take the dog with me. So I'm not too worried about that.
Are you thinking smaller size, bigger size? What do you?
Probably like 30 pounds, 30 to 40
A little bit bigger
pounds.
than Toast then.
Yeah, a little bigger than Toaster. I need a dog that I can kind of swat play with and wrestle play with without wondering if I'm gonna somehow dislocate a hip or an arm or something.
Toaster, come here.
Toaster's he's very hesitant.
There you go. Yeah. Toaster's 25 pounds.
25 pounds and growing.
He's a good boy.
Feeding this guy Coors Light and grain. What's going on?
No, he doesn't drink.
Doesn't drink. Oh, that's right. Toaster has the most incredible negative response to alcohol I've ever seen, which I just witnessed. You go like this with a glass of wine, and he just backpedals from like 5 feet away from the glass.
Yeah, he does not like. Here's an example of Toast. Don't torture him. Toaster, come here. It's okay.
All right, so I have a book to share with people.
Well, hold on. You've been like 3 in a row. Let me
All right, go for it.
So I have a quarterly box coming out, similar to Tim's quarterly box. I think mine is, I don't know my URL. Anyway, you can search Google quarterly Kevin Rose. In my next box, and whether you subscribe to my box or not, I really don't care. I'm just telling you about this. This is matcha tea from Breakaway Matcha. You've had this before.
Yeah.
You had Breakaway before, right?
Yeah, it's good.
It's great matcha. For people that don't know, and people like myself that have way too much caffeine in their life, or I should say too much coffee in my life, and you want something that's a little bit more healthy and a change, matcha is essentially the entire leaf of the tea plant ground up. So they take these very large, very heavy kind of, what is that they're made out of? They're made of, you've seen these matcha
ceramic,
grinders.
stone.
They're stone, but they're heavy stones, and they grind them into a very fine green powder So this is kind of what. Actually, it's not open.
Yeah.
But
You don't want to spill it on your rug.
we can show you. We can show you a picture online. But you take a little. What I do is I take a little tiny scoop of this, put it in the bottom, and then add a little bit of hot water, just about that much. Buy a coffee frother, and then you use that and froth the very bottom of it. It'll create this almost like foamy type substance, and then you add more hot water, and you have like a green tea latte. It's a great caffeine boost, and it's just
you
like
foam it
it's
at
awesome.
the end too?
Yeah, well, you don't get as much head that way. It's
Well, we don't want that.
no, I like a good foamy head on the end of my matcha.
Of course.
And it's like it's better to start off and do it initially rather than wait till the end.
Definitely don't wait for the good head.
Then you suck them all off and get the double prick.
You guys are cut off. I'm the one drinking, and you're the one.
Oh, this is amazing. No, I want this to continue.
Wait, I get to do my last one.
Okay. All right.
This is awesome.
All right.
Do you know what this is?
I don't. I think I can guess.
So this. Okay, go ahead and guess.
Fermenting?
Correct. So don't say .com. So this is a gift. I actually own fermenting.com one. That's why it's funny. I'm doing nothing with it.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you ever want to do something with it.
I'm good, but somebody out in the internet verse might.
As people, we've talked about this before on the show, fermenting is great. You get a lot of helpful, friendly bacteria that grow on fermented foods, and it also makes a lot of foods more bioavailable. Thanks, babe. And basically what this vessel is, my good friend Tony Conrad gave this as a gift for my birthday. And this is a clay vessel that is made by a company called Counterculture Pottery. And so these two guys right here, these are two little clay tablets. And what happens is you start off with whatever you want to ferment. So in this case, what I like to do a lot of is sauerkraut. So you follow a simple little recipe. It's as easy as taking some cabbage, kind of mushing it all together with some salt, adding some caraway seeds, whatever else you want to add. You put it in here, and then you take these apart, and these are your weights. And then what happens is when all those cell walls of the cabbage break down, they put off a lot of just basically water. And when these weights sit on top of the cabbage, it pushes it down beneath the water line so that they're fully submerged underneath the fluid, which is important because you don't want that exposed cabbage floating out there and getting kind of like contact with air. So after that's done, you have them in the kettle, you're ready to ferment them for a couple weeks. Now you put the lid on. Now most people think, well, okay, well that's it, but that's not. The reason why there's this little groove right here is you fill this groove with water. And then what happens is as this ferments and the gas tries to escape, what you want is the gas to get out, but no more air to get in. You don't want anything contaminating the fermentation as it's going on.
Oh, this is interesting.
It's solid.
That was solid, yeah.
Yeah, so it's solid. So what happens is it'll bubble, and little bubbles will come out of the side here.
But the air,
there's
no way for the air to get back in.
Right, so that comes
that's
out through the
clever.
water.
That's very clever.
What's that?
Or bacteria.
Or bacteria, which is the most important thing. You don't want bacteria getting in there because this is like, you got a lot of like warmth and fermentation going on in here. So that's it. This is by far, you'll see a lot of these on Amazon. A bunch of them are crap. I can't believe my friend found this. This is by far, I've been into fermenting for a while. I've looked at a ton of different vessels. By far the best. So
Counterculture Pottery.
Counterculture Pottery.
Berkeley.
Yeah. So I don't know how much it was a gift. I don't know how much these run. I didn't look it up, and I'm not going to. But it's beautiful. It is like, this is awesome. If you want to get into fermenting in a serious way, they have some great recipes in here too, this little instruction booklet. It is so simple to do your own sauerkraut. Seriously, if you've never tried it, I recommend it. That is all I have for today.
All right. So I've got two more things to talk about.
You have this too. I don't know if you want to talk about this.
Oh, sure. We can talk about this. Well, I mean, I'm going to need you to elaborate here, but
Sure.
I've been getting on my very, very boring ketogenic diet, eating eggs. But one of the ways to make eggs more interesting for me is to just perfect soft-boiled eggs, where you have this like delicious, almost caramel-like nectar of the yolk inside the egg, which is effectively
soft-boiled
appears
egg.
hard. Yeah. But anyway, so I love soft-boiled eggs.
The nectar of
but
the
they're
egg.
hard to get. But there are. This is a performance, Kevin. It's a video show. Anyway, so part of the challenge is if you're trying to really get the perfect soft-boiled egg and you don't boil the egg long enough, then it just comes out as this just like miasma of disgusting goop, and then it's no good.
Right.
So, when I'm doing it, generally I am doing. I like to use baking soda if possible, which will reduce adherence to the shell. But I will get it to a boil, the water that is, and then I will reduce it to a low boil, sort of a low turbulence, add the eggs in, and leave them in for about 5 minutes. Usually 5 to 6 minutes is kind of perfect for me, but it's still a bit of guesswork. And this device you guys told me about when we went out to dinner the other night, which is effectively a steamer, as I understand it.
It's amazing.
And it's a single-use device that will give you perfect soft-boiled eggs. And I was like, oh my God. I don't generally have single-use devices. Daria doesn't ever, really. But this is the one you guys use. This is it.
I bought this thing probably
is a Cuisinart egg
10
cooker.
years ago.
And
Let me show you how it works.
yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward. All you do is this is the base plate that gets hot. You add in like 2 tablespoons.
There's a right, depending on how much boiled you want and how many eggs you have.
Right. There's a little recipe in there.
Yeah, it tells you how much water to put.
It tells you how much to put in. So anyway, I was just like generalizing. You add just a little bit of water in the bottom. Then you put the eggs inside of these little holes right here. So you set them in, boom, boom, boom. If you want to actually crack the eggs open and put them in here, this will make poached eggs. And then I don't even know, I never knew what these were for. Did you find out, babe? I don't know what that's for.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway,
it's important.
all I ever did was put them in there, you put the lid on, and like you hit this little switch right here on, and then it automatically shuts itself off.
The reason the amount of water is important is because it shuts itself off when the water runs out.
Right.
Okay, got it. So you need to get the amount of water.
And actually,
Right.
Kevin lost a piece, but the most important piece is the amount that measures how much
I did lose that.
for, like, you basically are like, I want 4 eggs soft boiled. And
Okay.
it's like this amount of water.
I
It has
see.
a little measuring cup.
Okay.
And that's the amount of water you put in there.
That's the
But
magic.
it's awesome.
That's the magic amount because that determines the duration and everything. Cool.
It's so easy, and this thing, I think it was under $30. It's not that expensive.
Cool.
I bought that years and years ago.
So this is a book that not many of you have seen probably. It is a new book as I understand it, and it is called A Wrestling Life. And A Wrestling Life is a collection of stories about Dan Gable, by Dan Gable. And I never give cover quotes, just don't do it. But Dan Gable was and still is a hero of mine, and when I was growing up, because he was Sportsman of the Century, according to Sports Illustrated. He is one of the best coaches of the last 100 years and widely considered that in any sport. He won the gold medal in the Munich Olympics in wrestling without having a single point scored on him, which is like winning Wimbledon without having a point scored on you. It's just impossible. And he was able then to take that. People thought he was already at the pinnacle. Okay, it's all downhill from here, as it is the case for a lot of athletes. And then he went into coaching and was able to just produce monsters on demand. He created this just factory of mutants. And I think he had something like 200 plus, somewhere between 150 and 200 All-Americans out of that one, out of the Iowa Hawkeyes, and I think it was like 13 Big Ten championships in a row. And I might be getting some of the facts a little off, but he only lost 1 match in his entire NCAA career, which was his last match. That's why he was so pissed that he trained 7 hours a day, 7 days a week before the Munich Olympics and just rolled through everybody. And he is really aggressive. So I did put up a blog post at one point called Ode to Aggression, which has a clip of Dan Gable coaching his wrestlers, which is phenomenal. So Google that, Ode to Aggression, Dan Gable. But my quote that I gave, because I think it's very appropriate, is, in a modern world of political correctness and glad handing, the art of the fight is highly undervalued. Allow Dan to show you another way, because Dan is a fighter. And that's it. So this book, you can check it out if you want to get an inkling of why I'm so fascinated with Dan Gable, as is John Irving, for instance, who calls Dan Gable one of his heroes. Meeting him changed my life. His life as a wrestler, as a coach, as a man dedicated to his family has served me as a model. And it it's an amazing story. So check out the book, or just you can Google Ode to Aggression and take a look at Dan Gable. I think it will really leave an indelible mark on your thinking, because what this guy's been able to do as a coach and a teacher impresses me more than what he did as an athlete. And what he did as an athlete at the time was basically unprecedented. So that's that. And then the big news, the biggest news for me, which involves you, is when people are watching this, by this time, they should be able to go to iTunes and get the entire season of the Tim Ferriss Experiment, the TV show. And this has been something I've fought for so long, and I've had to lawyer up and negotiate for a year to get the rights back. No one has seen 11, I think, of the 13 episodes, and most people haven't seen any. Done with the team that filmed and edited all of Anthony Bourdain's stuff. Super gritty, super cinematic. We were in the 3-gun shooting episode together, and it was just an amazing experience. So I finally have that. I have hours of bonus footage. I'm also going to make that available. And so you can see me basically pushing myself to the breaking point, and you do see a lot of injuries in some of these episodes for parkour, professional poker, rally car racing, surfing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You want to see like ribs get broken, you can check that one with Marcelo Garcia, who's like the Michael Jordan of the sport. And all of them are available. So you can get them for like, I don't know, 40 or 50% off if you buy the whole season on iTunes. So if you go to itunes.com/Tim Ferriss with 2 R's and 2 S's, or if you just go to 4hourworkweek.com/TV.
How much is it going to be?
I think it's gonna be cheap. It's gonna be like $14.99, something like that, for 13 episodes.
Awesome.
It's really cheap. So,
I'm excited. I still haven't seen our episode. I know you have it now.
I
gotta see it.
Every time, well, I shouldn't say every time, but I've seen you a couple times, and I've always brought the hard drive, and you make fun of me because you're like, who walks around with a hard drive in this day and age? And I'll tell you, the same people who print out their Bitcoin information because they don't want to have it in the cloud.
Dude, this isn't Bitcoin. This is like an episode of your freaking...
Yeah, but my Bitcoin. Blah, blah, blah. These episodes, the TV show, and also not getting sued by Turner Broadcasting for putting stuff out that isn't geo-restricted, which my rights require me to do, is worth more to me than my Bitcoin. So it makes sense that I would take similar precautions.
So this is what I said to Tim. When he got here and he's like, I have my hard drive. I'm like, let me get a copy of that. And he's like, no, I can't give you a copy. I'm like, how can you not give me a copy? My hard drive is encrypted. The odds that someone hacks into my laptop and then
maybe not after this episode.
through my encrypted hard drive and then downloads a 4 gigabyte file. So the hacker's like, okay, well, 10 gigs. Let's just download this random video, and then puts it online where you get in trouble. It's like, dude, it's like 1 in a bazillion, and you still won't do it.
1 in a bazillion. Yeah, well, I mean, you could say also. All right. Well, you know what? It's like sort of the risk reward multiplied by the probability.
I get it. You've always been a little paranoid. That's fine.
A little paranoid is sort of an understatement. But
I was just trying to be nice.
No, I appreciate that. So check out the show, Tim Ferriss Experiment. It's super proud of it. I literally almost killed myself doing it. And if you liked any of the stuff in the books, the 4-Hour Work Week, 4-Hour Body, 4-Hour Chef, all of my favorite concepts and most powerful and flexible principles are in the show. So
we had a lot of fun shooting our episode. You should check out the gun shoot. It was a pretty intense competition.
It was intense. It was fun.
We came really close. I won't spoil it for people, but like it was really close.
Each other?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, close to like
we were in
a competition of how fast we could run through the course.
Yeah,
and you have to switch to 3 different guns: handgun, shotgun, and then AR-15.
Yeah.
And so
we were, very, very neck and neck.
And we both got a lot better, which was crazy.
Ton. So you can check it out. That's with the sort of savant of the sport named Taryn Butler, that guy's shotgun reloading is insane.
Not even that. His off the hip shooting is he's like off the hip and can hit any target.
He's basically,
it's insane. No aiming.
A hand-gunning prodigy. He can run through the course, get groupings like this
from the hip.
A target from the hip while running. Like faster than that.
It's like you watch him. You'll see in the episode. Is he featured in there as well? I'm sure, right?
Taryn?
Well, I mean, I know he was instructing us. But did they show him running through?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And it's
insane.
Yeah, you remember when we did El Presidente?
Yeah.
When there's a drill where you have to spin around, draw. I guess it's double tap, drop the mag, reload, double tap, double tap, double tap. And Taryn did it too. It's like 1.57 seconds. It was something I remember both of us were just like, what? What? It was so crazy.
I wouldn't have believed it. It was the weirdest thing.
And he's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
He's not a little ballerina. I mean, this is a solid guy. And
he could kill us so easy.
Yeah,
I think I've been talking the entire time I was there. I was like, this guy could just turn around and kill us in 2 seconds. We couldn't even run. He'd just be like, pop, pop, pop. We'd be like on the ground dead.
Well, you know, what was funny? I remember when we were prepping the episode, and I was like, yeah, you know, I have a Glock 34, and I wanted to become more comfortable with the guns I already owned, and the Glock 34 at some point I'd like to use for competition. So. Like IDPA or something like that, the International Defensive Pistol Association, something like that. In any case, so I was talking to Taryn beforehand, and I was like, "Is there any chance that you have any Glocks that I can use?" And he goes, "I have 40 Glocks." It's like, of course you have 40 Glocks.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. And he customizes these. So now
this is the last guy's house you'd ever want to break into.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
He could take out 40 people.
Oh.
I guarantee you, if like we all raided his house with like all our friends, we would all die.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
You'll see when you watch the episode. This guy is just insane.
He's incredible. So anyway, for each of the episodes, we have some crazy superhuman type teacher like that. For surfing, it was Laird Hamilton, you know, the undisputed king of big wave surfing, and on and on and on. So check it out, 4hourworkweek.com/TV. And
sweet.
I think that's it. Suck them all off.
What did Graham have to say? There was something we were talking about before we started the episode that I thought was interesting. You had one thing to say. You're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting, Graham. You should talk about it on the show.
The fact that everyone in this room is wearing V-neck gray shirts?
No, it wasn't gray neck V. It was something else. Some point he had to make. Oh, well. It's over.
Graham can splice it in. He can have like a 10-minute talk to the camera after his.
Hi. It's like Graham show. You should do that sometime. We don't ever watch the entire episode. Sexy time with Graham.
Splice in illicit shots of Graham like Fight Club.
Dude, you should splice in like a shot of you in the bathtub with like candles around. It's like Graham's little private hour. All right, we're gonna start.
All right, I think that's about it. Anything else?
That's it. Yeah,
we'll see more whiskey.
I'm heading to New York for a week and then I'm back. I don't know when we're going to shoot again, but we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Not that people
That's why it's the random show. I'm glad. Any other confessions?
No, I'm good.
Logistics updates? All right, guys.
All right. Peace.
See ya. I'm Tim Ferriss, best-selling author and human guinea pig. I'll show you how to make the impossible possible by bending the rules. I'll find the world's best teachers and push myself to the edge to deconstruct, decode, and demystify some of the world's toughest challenges in record time. If I can do it, so can you. One of the best ways to learn something fast is to set stakes.
Everybody, I want you to give it up for Mr. Tim Ferriss over there.
So here goes.
You could feel the power rising up in your loins.
5 days. This is like the first time I looked at Chinese characters.
Yeah.
Zero experience. You're in trouble. Okay. And the world's best teachers.
Yeah, baby!
Is 4 or 5 days really enough time? I have my doubts. Sometimes accelerated learning requires serious acceleration.
The course is designed to kill you.
So here it goes. I'm 50% excited and 50% totally scared shitless. 5 days. Got a premature accelerator here. Zero experience, and I'm terrified of it, where I do not claim to be a good driver. And the world's best teachers.
Stop, go left! Oh, aha!
One mistake, and you and your car are toast.
Oh, shit!
Stand by camera 3.
I've never been to the Philippines. I only speak one word of Tagalog, and that is thank you. Salamat.
So you're telling me you speak like a Filipino now?
With language learning experts on my side, I will find out just how much Tagalog I can cram into 4 days.
And this is the day of reckoning for Tim Ferriss. Are you ready?
This week, I'm throwing down.
You're rushing past a step.
I've got to learn fast, and it's not going to be pretty. 5 days to train. I am getting a little beaten up. And the world's best teachers.
Release it. Yep. Nice adjustment.
Elbow comes out.
All right, you ready? Let's go.
You ready for this?
Ready as I'm gonna be. This week, I'll attempt to prove that man can fly.
The trees bring the fear into it.
5 days, 0 experience,
The danger of permanent damage is a real concern.
and the world's best teachers.
The end goal is to move into real-world environments.
No golf.
A 3 what? A 3 wood.
5 days, 0 experience, and the world's best teachers.
We need to clear the mind. Yeah, avoid catastrophes. Take a chill pill.
I don't like chilling out. I feel like I need to work on my ass punch. Accelerated learning can be applied to anything.
They've broken down the art of attraction to an exact science.
Really, anything.
Having an animal, it's like crack.
5 days, I stutter, I stammer, my hands are sweating. Millions of fish in the sea. I feel like I'm back in 9th grade. And the world's best teachers.
I'm sure you'll be married by Saturday.
This week, I'm using my startup experience to help a novice entrepreneur.
I'm a little scared.
I have just 4 days to set her on a new path and hopefully give her the tools to unlock her full potential.
Yeah.
This week, it's trial by fire.
Weapon is hot, range is hot.
I have to learn fast.
163, your fastest draw. These are going about 1,200 feet per second.
It's not going to be easy.
Any misses?
4 days to train and the world's best teachers.
Computer ready, stand by.
When I say if I can do it, so can you, I mean it very literally. This week, I'll prove it.
The learning curve doesn't look like this.
I'll turn a novice swimmer into a long-distance swimmer
Every time I look at the waves in the open water, I get really nervous.
with help from the master who taught me
I know these steps work.
in just 5 days.
Sarah is struggling.
I'm not doing it.
Sometimes to learn fast, you have to slow way down.
The only thing that there is the now. That's the most honest way to be.
4 days, one badass legend,
You think you have it? Paddle again.
and some seriously unpredictable terrain.
Come on, turn. Catch a wave. Go, Tim, here we go.
This week, I'm going all in. Nothing gets me learning faster than putting money on the line. I am a nervous wreck. I'm taking my balls out. I've never played a hand.
You end up making me look very foolish here.
This is when my head explodes. If you think there's nothing you can do when disaster strikes, think again. In just 4 days, I'll build a toolkit for survival. My end game to be ready for anything. Hey guys, this is Tim Ferriss here. I'm just having my tea and my What Would You Attempt If You Knew You Could Not Fail mug. And for all of the episodes of the Tim Ferriss Experiment, go to 4hourworkweek.com/TV. That's FOUR, etc.com/TV, where you will find not only all 13 episodes of the Tim Ferriss Experiment, but you will find extended interviews, really in-depth tutorials, 2 to 3 hour in-depth dissections of some of these experts and their skills, tons of stuff that we just couldn't put into 21 or 22 minutes of television. But for all of it, behind the scenes stuff, all sorts of cool things of every type and variety, go to 4hourworkweek.com/TV, and thank you for watching.